You have inherited your grandfather's estate.
Huh?
Yui Hasegawa is 27 years old. She works at a small publishing company in Tokyo and lives an ordinary life as an office worker. She dislikes anything flashy and quietly handles her work without drawing attention. Then one day, she received some unbelievable news out of the blue.
Inheritance? What are you talking about?
Your grandfather owned Hasegawa Printing. You're set to inherit all its rights, in other words, the entire company.
The company?
She had barely seen her grandfather these past few years. Although she knew he ran a small printing factory, she never imagined she would end up taking it over.
You are the official heir.
Wait a minute, I can't possibly run a company.
The financial situation is, to be honest, quite dire. If you give it up, there's a high chance the company will go bankrupt.
Even after putting down the phone, Yui remained in a daze, sinking into her sofa. Inheriting a company? She couldn't possibly do that.
But if I let it go...
The employees would lose their jobs, and everything her grandfather had built would be lost. A faint sense of guilt welled up inside her. Yui closed her eyes and took a long, deep breath.
I guess I'll at least go and take a look.
Yui stood in front of Hasegawa Printing, the company her grandfather had left behind. The faded sign, the rusty door, and the windows lightly coated with dust created the impression that time had stopped.
So this is Grandpa's company?
When she opened the heavy door, the apathetic employees glanced at her briefly before looking away.
So you're the new president, huh?
Hey, Missy, running a company isn't just some little game.
Huh?
Her eyes fell on the dusty machines, a pile of unpaid bills, and the ledgers dripping in red ink. Yui gasped.
So this is what the company looks like right now?
Everyone knows it's on its last leg.
Either get absorbed by someone else or shut down. Do whatever you like.
Yui clenched her fists. She had no clue what to do, but if she did nothing, the company would truly collapse.
Why did Grandpa leave this to me?
At that moment, she heard the employees quietly whispering behind her.
By the way, have you heard that someone's been oddly interested in this place lately?
Yeah, apparently they said something like, "This might be fun."
Who is this person, anyway?
Yui could hear their conversation, but she had more immediate problems to consider. Standing by the battered desk, she was desperately wondering what to do when a low voice spoke from behind her.
Hey, lady. Standing around with that look on your face won't turn this place around.
Huh?
She turned around to see a man in a slightly loosened suit collar, flashing a confident smile. She momentarily held her breath at the sharp look in his eyes.
Hey there, President.
And that was how Yui's encounter with Ichijo began.
Who are you?
Riku Ichijo. Let's just say I'm a bit of a business advisor.
He gave off a somewhat frivolous vibe, yet his eyes gleamed with a keen light.
A business advisor?
Put simply, I help struggling companies get back on their feet. That's my job.
He had appeared so suddenly that it seemed suspicious for him to show up at this very moment.
This is shady. Why our company?
I heard about it from someone who knew your grandfather. You inherited the company but don't know what to do. My role is to help with that.
His words sounded casual, but they carried a strange persuasiveness. Even so.
But I don't know a thing about you. How can I be sure you're trustworthy?
Ha, you're pretty wary. That's not a bad thing.
Ichijo took out a business card from his pocket and flicked it toward her with a quick gesture.
If you follow my advice, this place can definitely be saved.
Definitely?
Harsh reality stared her in the face. She didn't want to watch the company fail without doing anything, but could she really trust him?
You have what it takes to be a president.
Me?
Yui couldn't answer. Who was Riku Ichijo really? Did he have another agenda? She didn't know. Later, she sank into the office sofa, feeling crushed by the enormous burden of taking over the company. She felt the weight of responsibility for her employees, alongside her own powerlessness.
I don't know anything about running a business. I've never even done sales.
If she continued operating, the pressure would be enormous. If she gave up, her employees would lose their jobs, and everything her grandfather had built would be gone. No matter how she thought about it, she couldn't find an answer as night wore on.
Grandpa, why did you choose me?
After days of agonizing, Yui finally called Ichijo, and they met at the company once again.
So, have you made up your mind?
Please help me. I want to save the company.
That's what I was waiting to hear.
Thus began the reforms under Ichijo's guidance. The first step was to overhaul the sales strategy. Hasegawa Printing was a long-standing family business, going back to her grandfather's day. But the equipment was outdated, it lagged in digitization, and its finances were in dire straits. What caught Ichijo's eye was the skill of the company's craftsmen.
First, let's figure out what your company's weapon is.
A weapon? We're just a small printing business.
No. Your team can reproduce very detailed designs and print on special types of paper. That's your selling point. You still have a shot if you leverage it.
Come to think of it, her grandfather was always proud of being able to print even the most intricate designs flawlessly. But Yui had no idea how to use that strength in marketing.
So, how do we pitch that?
Easy. We'll target clients who prioritize quality, like design firms or luxury packaging companies. That sets you apart from those looking for cheap mass production.
Though still skeptical, Yui consulted with the factory workers and decided to produce a sample of the highest possible quality.
This is exciting. My hands are itching to take on something so intricate.
The workers' motivation began to rise. Their dormant pride as craftsmen seemed to be reawakened.
Can the company really change like this?
You'll see soon enough. Trust me.
Still uneasy, Yui slowly began to follow Ichijo's advice and take action. Once the test print was ready, they started approaching new customers. Following Ichijo's plan, Yui booked appointments and went with him.
But I've never done sales. I don't even know how to pitch.
Don't worry about it. I'll handle the sales talk. Just watch and learn.
Though still doubtful, she had no choice but to rely on him now. Their first stop was a highly reputed design firm known for valuing print quality. Nervously, Yui followed Ichijo into the meeting room.
We're pretty happy with our current printer. What's the advantage of switching to you?
Normally, that would be the end of the conversation, but Ichijo answered calmly.
Are you sure you're showcasing your designs to their fullest potential?
What exactly do you mean?
Please have a look at this sample.
With a smooth gesture, Ichijo handed over the sample. Intricate details and subtle gradations were reproduced with stunning clarity, causing the firm's president to stare in amazement.
But I never expected such intricate printing was possible.
We'd like to use our technology to showcase your company's designs to the fullest. For your first order, we'll offer a trial price, and if you're not satisfied, there's no charge. However, if you're pleased with the result, we'd like to sign a formal contract as your business partner.
The president stares at the sample, then fixes his gaze on Ichijo.
All right, let's give it a try.
The moment the deal is struck, Yui glances up at Ichijo. She is overwhelmed by his flawless handling of the negotiation, her heart pounding.
Amazing. I can't believe someone can persuade others so confidently.
See? I told you we'd close the deal.
Seeing his confident grin makes Yui's heart skip a beat. On their way back after the successful meeting, Yui and Ichijo walk side by side. The setting sun casts an orange glow over the streets.
Ichijo, you're really incredible. How did you manage to secure that contract so smoothly?
It's not so simple. I just figure out what the other side really wants, then offer it to them. It's a skill you develop over time.
Ichijo casually reaches out and taps Yui on the shoulder.
You'll be able to do it too someday, Ms. President.
Startled by his sudden touch, Yui stops in her tracks. The warmth of his hand lingers, sending a flutter through her chest for no reason.
Why is my heart racing this much?
Ichijo walks on ahead, and Yui hurriedly chases after him.
Come on, keep up. There's still plenty of work to do.
Back in the office, Yui sinks into the sofa, replaying her recent interactions with Ichijo in her mind. His impressive negotiation skills and the strange allure that draws people in.
Who is Ichijo, really?
She appreciates his help in saving the company, but everything is going far too smoothly. She can't shake off a sense of unease. He speaks with a force that seems to manipulate people's hearts. Why is that? A seed of doubt begins to grow in Yui's mind. Suddenly, Yui recalls something a contact person mentioned.
Ichijo, that name's the same as the guy in the news a while back for some investment scam, right?
A bad feeling gnaws at her, so she picks up her phone. Genius scammer. Riku Ichijo, arrested for investment fraud and served time.
No way.
She reads the article in disbelief. It clearly states that he committed large-scale investment fraud and served a prison sentence.
If this is true,
His clever words, his remarkable power of persuasion, could they be the talents of a con man? If Ichijo is still scheming, both she and the entire company might be in danger.
what should I do? Can I really continue trusting Ichijo?
Unable to sleep, Yui spends a long night wrestling with her doubts. Determined to confirm it directly, Yui calls Ichijo to the conference room.
Ichijo, I need to talk to you.
Huh? What's with the serious tone?
Yui shows him her phone screen.
Is this true, that you're a genius scammer?
On the screen is a news article exposing Riku Ichijo's past. Arrested for investment fraud, the shocking headline reads.
So you looked me up.
Ichijo doesn't seem surprised. He merely laughs through his nose.
I know you've been helping the company, but if I'm being deceived, everyone here could get dragged down with me.
So what's your take on all this?
Yui falls silent. Without Ichijo's efforts, the company might already have gone under. Yet knowing he was once a con artist makes her uneasy.
I need some time to think. I'd like to keep some distance from you for now.
Ichijo crosses his arms, raising an amused eyebrow.
I see. Well, having me around would make your decision harder. I'll disappear for a while.
For an instant, a faint sadness flickers in his eyes.
I'm sorry.
Ichijo gives a small nod and leaves the conference room. And so Ichijo parts ways with the company, leaving Yui to continue the business alone. Weeks pass since Ichijo's departure. The company begins slipping back into its old lethargy. A major client cancels their contract. The employees are becoming discouraged.
No way, why?
We signed that contract because Ichijo was here. Now, we don't sense that same negotiating power.
Yai beats her lip in frustration. Without Ichijo, can she do nothing on her own? She clenches her fists in regret. Yes, the company got this far because of Ichijo. Without his skill in sales and negotiation, I was helpless. But am I really incapable of doing anything on my own?
There must be a way for me to fix this. But how?
A bitter taste rises in her throat. She wonders what Ichijo would do if he were here. He would instantly read the client's mindset and turn things around in no time. Is his method right, or do I still doubt him? I can't be sure. Her gaze drifts to the phone on her desk. Should I call Ichijo, or should I handle this myself? Her fingers tremble. If things keep going this way, the company might fail. But if I ask him for help, maybe he'll fight for us again. Yui steels herself and picks up her phone. Despite her hesitation, she dials his number. The ringing tone seems to echo in her ears. Her heart tightens.
So, you decided you do need me after all?
The moment she hears his voice, Yui feels on the verge of tears.
Ichijo, I'm sorry, please help me again.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Even after the call ends, Yui's heart continues to pound. And exactly 10 minutes later, Ichijo appears at the office.
Well, so you ended up calling me back.
Ichijo, I'm sorry, but I really feel the company might fail without you.
Ichijo looks momentarily surprised, then lets out a small laugh.
I already knew that. All right, let's turn this around again.
Yui's eyes grow warm with tears. She's once again reminded of how vital Ichijo's presence is. With Ichijo back, deals start closing one after another, and the employees regain their confidence. Even Yui herself feels she has grown more than she ever thought possible. But one day, Ichijo calls Yui to the conference room.
It's about time my role here wrapped up.
What?
A bad feeling washes over Yui.
You're more than capable as a president now. You can manage without me.
But...
She looks at him. The company is definitely in good shape, but it feels like something crucial will be missing if he goes.
Ichijo...
At the moment he turns to leave, Yui instinctively grabs his arm.
Are you really leaving?
Ichijo looks a bit surprised and glances back. Yui's eyes are brimming with tears.
So you can make that kind of face.
He offers a wry smile and gently removes her hand.
No can do. You can walk on your own 2 feet now.
Yui feels a painful tightening in her chest, but Ichijo lightly taps her head.
If you're ever in real trouble, call me. I consider it my atonement.
He smiles wistfully. Looking at him, Yui senses that, while he still bears the weight of his past, he is now walking a different path. She wants to say something, but can't find the words. The door closes, echoing softly in the quiet room. Once again, Ichijo departs the company. Hasegawa Printing maintains stable operations. As company president, Yui confidently leads her staff, who work with renewed vigor. But that man is nowhere to be found. Yui takes Ichijo's business card from her desk drawer and gazes at it with nostalgia. Will I ever see him again? Just then, her phone rings. The display reads Riku Ichijo. She feels a quick jolt before calmly picking up.
Hello, this is Hasegawa Printing's president speaking.
Ah, it suits you now. You've come a long way, haven't you?
Hearing Ichijo's slightly teasing tone, Yui feels her heart grow warm. Now she can move forward, even without him around. Yet one day, she might find herself turning to him again. With that in mind, Yui lets out a small laugh. Ichijo carries the burden of a criminal past, but now strives to use his talents to help others. Meanwhile, Yui has grown into a leader determined to protect her company. Their story continues somewhere, with more chapters yet to unfold.